Hello and welcome. Wow, I was really loud. Um, welcome to another episode of Perfect Snap Builder. Today we're gonna be building the leg for this bad boy girl thing, and yeah, there isn't too much to talk about other than uh, let's go. Welcome, Flux Axiom. How is your day today? Yes, oh snap, Corona. Oh snap. Snap is what we intend to do today, and snapping we shall. Welcome, junketing. Wow, 3 viewers. That is insane. Literal insanity. Lex today. Why I started this stream so late in the day is because somehow I managed to screw up my sleep schedule by doing something healthy. Isn't that ironic? Bunch of eye parts. Awesome. I'm glad that it is working out for you. I'm glad that it is working out for you because it just means that it works out for me. There's a fair bit of room. Hmm. The ankle armor has undergate all around. A little bit interesting. Vroom. Hmm. So here we have the foot and ankle armor. There's this front piece that kind of moves about, and the rear piece that opens up like this, just by, quite a bit. But if the calf is there, I think it'll block it. Here we can see that the gray piece here sticks out, and some goes right here. At the bottom, it's all one color pretty much, red plus the gray of the inner frame. Transformation is just like so, for when it turns into the Neo Bird mode. And finally, there is the toe that can kind of move a little bit. And this is about as far as you can bend. as you can see, everybody's ears exploded and my mic fell over and I dropped apart. They really make you pay for making a mistake while building Gunpla. Um, I don't know. They make you pay by the time you buy the Gunpla, I would say. And I guess when you make a mistake, you buy another Gunpla. Welcome, Sawu, to a build. We're building the Wing Zero EW Master Grade. Ver.Ka. This is what we got so far, and basically we got a SD Gundam setup kind of thing. What's my favorite Gundam pilot? That's a very good question. I think it's I really quite like the character of Seabrook Arno, so the pilot of F-91. But when he was presented in Crossbone, like his character is actually he's one of the few non crappy whiny Gundam pilots. He kind of he was kind of like Amuro when he was in Zeta, but less confused and more focused, I would say. I forgot what his alias was in Crossbone, but yeah, that's my favorite. I think that would be my favorite pilot in terms of character. He's not the most skilled. He's not the most anything really. He is a new type, so he has considerable piloting skills, but he is not exceptional in the named character universe of Universal Century. I don't have a least favorite pilot, I think. But yeah, I forgot what his name is. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's quickly grab our keyboard that's just at the corner. So his alias was Kincaid now, and it was his in F91. In F91, he was called Seabrook Arnold. So Kincaid now from Crossbone, specifically because he wasn't that great of a character in F91. Generally, I don't like the teenager characters too much because it's trying to relate to their viewership too much, and sometimes that is just like, you know, why is a kid piloting a Gundam, right? I'm not sure if that threw you off, but yeah, that's my answer. Yo Fleming? Okay. He is certainly a character. Yo Fleming is pretty interesting a character. In the later Thunderbolt manga, he kind of, well, I will say that in general, in the Thunderbolt manga, everybody went crazy. So yeah, and yeah, everybody's crazy. It's very Universal Century. Is how I would describe Gundam Thunderbolt as a whole. But cool, cool. I I don't know if Mikazuki actually likes to pilot the Barbatos. Quattro winner? No. No, I don't like. I don't. I mean, I don't know. Quattro is interesting, but I wouldn't say that Mikazuki really likes Barbatos. It's more. I don't know. To me, Mikatsuki is one of the few characters um, in the store that doesn't develop in character. Even what's his name? Crap. Like he does get angry, he does get upset, but then he doesn't develop as a character. His entire character hasn't really changed, which is fine, but it's just a little bit boring because his character exists kind of to serve Olga. And yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad story or anything. It's just, to me, it's a character that didn't develop, and therefore, yeah. That said, um, it's mostly about like if he likes his Gundam. The Gundam, I think, is a tool. As long as I didn't say Banner Links, I agree. I will not say Banner Links. Yeah, it's not going to be Banner Links. Um, that said, I do. So there is the new Master Grade Mark V, and that really gives me hope for the to get the Silver Bullet Suppressor in Master Grade. So I'm pretty excited about that. That is a sure buy, and hopefully the all the mechanism for the transformation and the arm is presented and functional. Yeah, I'm personally pretty excited if it can be a product. Knowing Bandai, it probably will be. So yeah, just need to wait. Preaching peace the whole time. I don't know. Preaching peace is kind of interesting because a lot of the times, at least for the UC pilot, they're not preaching for peace. Xeon? Xeon pilots. Xeon pilots. I am pretty okay with Daryl from Thunderbolt up to one point, and then he once again, just like in every single character in Thunderbolt, he went completely insane. So that used to be a person. Okay, let me kind of think from people from Xeon. Any one that I like particularly. Thunderbolt. Xeon. I don't know. Most of the Xeon characters are, because they're more antagonist side, so they tend to be crazy as well. Oh, I like oh yeah, I was just thinking like Gato is pretty cool. Gato is pretty cool. Gato is pretty cool. Yep. Just wait for the Gato. Yeah, I like Gato, but it doesn't. I think I like Gato because all the other characters from the same series are just terrible people. Yeah, I will say I like Gato because oh man, what was the Levy and Rose character called? Um, 3G05. Oh, I also like Barney, if that counts. Barney is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I like Barney. The one I'm trying to look for is Castle Rock. Oh yes, Uraki. Yes, Uraki was the name. Ku Uraki. Yes, garbage person. Nina Purpleton. Yet another garbage person. So yeah, Gato is easily a likable character. Yeah, I like Barney. Barney's cool. Barney from War in the Pocket. He's yeah, he's a Xeon pilot, kind of. I don't know, the entire uh, War in the Pocket is kind of hilarious because, NT1 was supposed to be, well, it's basically them stealing Gundam again. Xeon trying to steal Gundam again. And in a way, they were successful because the NT1 was not delivered to Avro. And instead just kind of perished with Christina and Barney. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. Yeah, Gato is cool, Barney is cool. Like the fact that they are just normal people. Oh right. People from the Xeon, from the what's that thing called? Zionic Front, I think is what it's called. Um, what is that thing called? Principality of Xeon. Oh boy. Pilot of like the, oh yeah, MS Igloo. That's what I was trying to find. Like most of the people from MS Igloo are, balanced character who are not insane. I tend to like people who are not completely insane. So my understanding of the Johnny Ridden character is mostly from the he has a manga, I think, where basically the manga kind of just talks about the various prototype that's left from the 1 Year War. So they have things like the heavy Gundam and then the high performance Geoglock variants and things like that. In general, he's a I don't know, he's depicted as a comedic character, so it's kind of hard to tell who he really is. Um, yeah, that's what I feel about that. Sorry, I need to figure out how to assemble this. I think it's like that, maybe. Okay, yeah, it's definitely like this. We gotta get this, and we gotta clip it in like this. Okay. And there's also like there's also Uma Lightning, not so balanced. Yeah. But because Johnny Lightning doesn't have much of a screen time, so to speak, it's kind of odd because at least in the Johnny Ridden manga, he's depicted as not as Johnny Ridden, but someone who has memory loss. So it's not clear if that is the correct that is Johnny Ridden from 1 Year War, or it is just you know a facade or something like that. This piece will be pretty problematic later on, I feel. The armor on the kneecap will probably get pushed off pretty often because of how the piece is designed. We're now really close to at least midnight in my time zone, but we'll press on. Alright, actually we don't have that many parts left. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We will have the legs installed today. So Woo, if you do like non-whiny kids piloting mecha, you can watch 8-6 because they are definitely not whiny. Well, the main female lead is whiny, but she's whiny about, you know, more about human rights than anything else. Not so much about the war itself. But yeah, I would say that if you like non-whiny kids at war, 8-6 is something to watch. Or read, if that's your preference, because it is a light novel as well. Which reminds me, I need to buy the Overlord. Yeah, the spider mechas are interesting. They are very interesting. They're basically the equivalent in terms of performance as the ball from Universal Century. Basically, it's a pilotable thing with a cannon on the back and no armor whatsoever. Vroom vroom. Yeah, there isn't a terrible too much I can do about that. Car noises or motorcycle noises. I don't know what they are. Bipedal tanks. Like the gecko from MGS. I don't know, but that seems like it would require such a at least initially, like the juggernauts, the spider things, they remind me of mostly of the nightmare frames from Code Geass because of you really how it has the slash harken, it has wheels that kind of propel it forward and it still have legs. So that's what it mostly reminded me of. Anyways, it seems like it's one of those projects that I'm kind of surprised by because Bandai is actually backing the anime so they can sell the toy. Usually that doesn't. Usually it's the other way around. that, you know, the anime is popular, therefore Bandai will try to get the rights. But I guess that there was someone who was in the I guess the Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, we'll just be happy it's not Kiefer Sutherland, right? Kiefer Sutherland. Oh my god. I can still hear Kiefer Sutherland when I think about MGS5. Oh, I have not watched MGS. Sorry, I have not watched Warden and Puckett dubbed. So, yeah. But cool. Interesting story about voice actress. Or actors, sorry. Yeah, that's another interesting story because, yeah, fact that David Hayter didn't voice Venom Snake. At the same time, it kind of makes sense, right? Based on how the story progressed. That they have different voice actors. Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm probably gonna watch. I'll watch that on Netflix when it does come online, and I'll probably watch the original Gundam trilogy as well when it comes on Netflix. I'm very surprised they don't. I guess because it's less profitable, but did I finish Designated Survivor? Yes, I did. I was kind of surprised they didn't just put it up on their YouTube channel for Hathaway's Flash. But I guess it has to do with the fact that they needed the movie revenue. But I thought they did make like quite a bit of. I remember that there was an announcement for the box office for Hathaway's Flash already. So I thought they were doing pretty well, but I guess this was all before any discussions. So this is all after the deal has been stricken with Netflix. So yeah. Right, so I will have to send this before I put it in so that I can get a nice finish on it. Also, I don't know, Designated Survivor didn't really end. It just got cut, so the story didn't finish. But yes, Hathaway's Flash, I heard that the Thunderbolt coming to Netflix? Oh, that's possible, I think. But I think Thunderbolt, they might just throw it on their own channel, their own YouTube channel, unless there's a new season. Because for me, that makes more sense. Right, I don't know. Either way, as long as we can watch it, it's good. But I think they are putting, like, they just put whatchamacallit? I think they just put Stardust on their the Bandai in the Gundam info channel. that Bandai has. Is it? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. Is it Sunrise or Bandai? But either way, Bandai Holdings owns everything. Sunrise or Bandai Hobby. It's interesting. All right, this goes in like that. Thunderbolt coming to Netflix. Yeah, I hope so. Then at least the up until actually I don't remember if I watched the. I know I remember I watched the first one. I don't remember if I watched the one with Atlas Gundam. Yeah. Like Bandit Flower or something like that. But yeah, if it does come on Netflix, I'll watch it again. Or for the first time, because I don't remember. I don't know, it would be hilarious if they did make a model kit for the Perfect Gundam from Thunderbolt. And you get a runner of Zaku, and then you get a runner of Gundam. My favorite mobile suit. That's kind of hard to say. Because it kind of depends. I think for the longest time, I really like the wing, like the one that we're building right now. And it's kind of my introduction to the entire franchise. So it does have a special place in my heart. Yeah. In general, I like the Wing series quite a bit because once again, first series that I got. But generally, at least as time goes on, I'm leaning more towards a grunt suit. So things like, or the high performance grunt suits, things like the, you know, the GM Sniper non-custom, or you know, things like that, or a high performance Jagon, or you know, the just things like that. As to why. Ground type. Okay, cool. How do you like the Easy 8? That's kind of similar. Or you think that it's a tragedy? I don't like Sandrock. I will say that I do have more copies of Sandrock than I would like to admit. However, I have less copies of Sandrock than I have copies of Wing. I think so far the only version of the Master Grade Wing I'm missing is the non-Wing Zero Ver.Ka. So the first Wing Zero Ver.Ka. Yeah. There's always something that's when they're like less enemy and more militaristic, that's kind of attractive. I also like a lot of the grunts from Stardust because of that, because they're less anime. And then, you know, GPO3D is just like, yep, I'm from anime. I wonder if they're gonna have a new master grade for the Gundam. That'll be interesting, and I suspect not sell very well, unfortunately. Nice, nice. That is one more than I own. That is one more than I own. Vroom. So let's cut some pegs so that we can separate things easily in the future. Robot Spirit's wings are custom. Nice. I haven't have many experiences with figures, but nice, nice. I have so far only bought one figure that is modern from Bandai, and that's the Metal Build EVA 2 and the EVA 1, but you know, they're basically the same thing. But I don't know where my EVA 1 is, so I need to somehow get my hands on it. Oh, this is so not level. Yay, neighbors. Drag your chair across the floor. Now, when they were selling the Snow White, I struggle with it because I'm just like, oh, this cost is so hard to justify, blah 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 blah, and then just like, oh, now I have no chance of buying it ever again. So I would just have to wait for the master grade. The master grade P Bandai Snow White is basically inevitable in my mind. For they actually did all the provision for the non zero Ver.Ka as well on the kit, so I'll probably get that too. I don't think there's an extra like pack like Ego or Armadillo for the Wing Zero. So yeah, but I will definitely pick one up when it does come. My guess is that the Ver.Ka non-Win Zero will be, and the Snow White Prelude Master Grade will be P Bandai. Because why not make all the money? Granted, both of those will sell pretty well, I feel. Actually, the wing Ver.Ka might not sell that well, maybe, but the Snow White should sell pretty well, so. But that's definitely just trying to have all the profit, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with having all the profits as long as they print enough for me to buy. Is there, okay, there's no specific direction this must face. We just need to shove it in and we're good. Yep, I don't like the kneecap. The design is oh, I understand it's for the transformation gimmick, but it doesn't feel safe. That's how I would phrase it. Because it's actually quite difficult to push one of the parts in. There's supposed to be a space. Let's get some light on. So there's supposed to be a space right here. That is not obvious because this pin here, when you push on it, sometimes it slides out like this because the groove is not hard enough, creating this space here. I just realized my ISO setting was wrong, so I've made it a little bit brighter. So are you watching the new SD series that Bandai is putting on their own YouTube channel? I heard it's interesting, but I haven't started watching it. But it is a show that is very, very blatantly trying to sell toys, which is once again fine. I'm just going to cut this entire runner out. I have to say, posting at closer into the night, then mid-afternoon is actually much better for viewership. So I will take that into consideration in the future. Ah, I see. Okay, that's some interesting strategy to get people into the hobby, but good job. Isn't double isn't 83 a little bit too, how do I say this? Too stuffy to be the first Gundam series to watch? It's like, hey, welcome to anime. The first show that you'll watch is Evangelion. And this person will just be like, I'm never watching anime again. But I guess it is more militaristic, so if your brother-in-law is already inclined to shows like that, it's not bad. Okay, that's good, that's good. At least he is starting from the source of all, well, source of the entire franchise. Now is done because we just have hero pilot figure left. So what we got here? We got the calves, more boom boom. Got some knee armor, and then we got some thigh armors. So we're missing the back of the thighs. Yeah, we're missing these parts. Looks to be right. So far this build is, other than maybe the chest, is exactly oh, that's okay. I don't think anybody's gonna cook you here. That's fine. People can have preferences. Zeta is also, you have more wing Gundam because they make more wings than Sunrocks. That is true. No, okay. I'm okay with you not liking Zeta. No, nothing. I don't have a say on people's preferences. That's okay. People can like what they like and they can dislike what they dislike. I mean, Camille is really whiny, so from just as a starting point, there's plenty of reason to not like Zeta. At least in my mind. Where's my sand? Oh, there it is. Earballs. Yes, Camille is a whiny person, so. Oh, another Gundam I'd really like is I like the TR6 lines of Gundam because it's something that looks very different from a Gundam, and Yeah, it's just a different design. I also like Gundams that has a bunch of things strapped to it, like FAZZ, V2AB, things like that. Because the more logical it looks, the better, kind of. And also the more logical it looks, the better. But everything in between is kind of like a meh. Yeah. Why cannot? Why don't they make a master grade for it? Why can't they make a master grade for it? Everybody will buy it. I want a Hazen Blade to Raw. Yeah. They did reuse the Mark II frame for the TR1 a couple of times in the master grade, but I'm just like I don't want a Mark II. I don't want a Mark II. Or GM Quo base, but same frame. But I don't want a GM Quo. I don't want a Mark II. I want a TR6. But if they make something like the Kishar, oh, I will probably get that too. Kishar? I don't know how to pronounce it. Language is hard. And also the TR6 is incredibly stupidly powerful in Gundam G Generation. The balance of the game is pretty weird this time around for was it G Generation, not Cross-Rated, way before that. Genesis? I think it's Genesis. Yeah, Genesis. The balance of that game is really interesting. It's the first time I think that they balanced the grunt from late UC to early UC well. But I'm curious as to how they balanced. I haven't played Crossray yet, but I'm curious as to how they balanced that. So all the thighs are undergated, other than the top, where it will most likely be covered by the armor. But yeah, so this is a pretty good build experience, especially if you don't paint. Cool. Moon Gundam? The story or the Gundam? Because I feel they were both problematic. So the Moon Gundam is effectively a Sazabi prototype with a Gundam head, right? So it's from G-Doors, and then it got turned, which is the Federation Psychomu prototype plus the Xeon prototype, and that basically like landed in the Moon, right? And you know the entire premise for Moon is a joke, I feel, because it's from Double Zeta, which itself is a gag anime, and yeah. So in general, crap. In general, not great. I feel the design is pretty cool, but the premise and how they insert it into the timeline is perhaps subpar. And once again, it has the same the gunpla. I think it's fine. I think it's well regarded. I haven't built it. It's a high grade, right? The high grade, right? I haven't built it, so I can't really have a personal opinion. But from all the review I've seen, it's a high quality gunpla. It shares many of the good characteristics of the recent high grades. And I heard it's pretty big as well, just because you know it's around it's like mid UC, so things are big. Yeah, I would say that if you do want it, I feel that it will be a good buy. I personally prefer the. Did they make a kit for the purple thing? I don't remember. What is it called? Dang, I forgot the name of it. So, yeah. Moon. There's G-Doors, and then there's Moon Gundam, and Moon Gundam is from Vargu? Vargu? Yeah, there is a kit for it. It's a P Bandai kit. I would say go with that one because Gundam colors are boring. Send it. That is not send it. Yes, Fargo. But I feel that you're gonna get a pretty similar experience between the Vargo and the Moon Gundam because it's the same aside from the head. In terms of build experience, but if you do want to paint it, then it doesn't really matter. If you scratch build, I would say the Vargo because it's purple. I will never forget that I got the regular the Master Grade F90 like a few days before they announced the F90 F90 second color, so the purple one. So I'm just like, why has life done that to me? What's the F90 called? F90. Sure, assault type. F90. So it will be called the F90 Unit 2. Yes, I got the unit 1. That is in the mail. And then just shortly before, after I bought it, they announced unit 2, which I'm just like, why? Why did you do this? Like, like Gundams are generally the same color, especially the Universal Century ones. Or rather, the League Gundams are always the same color, so it's kind of boring. There are outliers like there are very, very few outliers. Like when you look at Seed, when you look at Double O, the League Gundam is the traditional Gundam color, so to speak. Which is fine, but at the same time, if you're not gonna make any of the antagonist suit, at least give us more interesting Gundam colors. Oh, nice, the thick boy. Yeah, see, that's something that's at least not an interesting color, right? It's like a color of a big healthy turd, but you know, it's at least not the Gundam color. That's very important, I feel. Like recently, there hasn't been any interesting colored Gundam, I would say. Like I was really happy when they released the GM Turbulence. Yeah, the GM Turbulence, because it was a green Gundam, right? Yeah, yeah. What do you call it? I thought you said you didn't like Zeta. Why'd you get the O? I guess the thick boy is still thick boy. Um, yeah. The entire like Jupiter people are kind of weird, I would say. Because you know that's where Sirocco came from. That's where a lot of the crossbone Vanguard came from. You know, they're just a bunch of weird people who, you know, at one point in time feel abandoned by Earth Spear. But you know, they have abandoned. Let's call it daddy issues. Kind of weird. Like, oh, we're poor people from, you know, from Jupiter, and now we're gonna take over Earth with our somehow supreme technology, which is like, huh? I thought you guys are poor. Way to break the premise, guys. Yes, yes, Zeta has a bunch of whining. Well, it's not a bunch of whiny children. It's just Camille. I think we can just say it's Camille. Then I bet you don't like Double Zeta too much either then, right? Because it's another bunch of whiny children. And even more so than Zeta. Or that it's not the same type of show you feel, so it's acceptable. Uh, you mean like when Haman showed up? But Haman showed up because, because there's unresolved feelings for Shar. So Haman was just being a whiny adult. Oh man, I'm a terrible person. Not news, but just want to reiterate. That in fact, me, a terrible person. Yeah, so there is the manga called there's the Shar's Deleted Affair manga, where they kind of go into depth about young Haman and younger Shar. So I think it was Shar before he was Quadro, as I recall. I think I don't remember exactly, but it's they try to be very serious, but it's actually hilarious because Haman is just like this queen and this badass in Zeta and Double Zeta, just like, yep, really just yet another person who has unresolved issues because of Shar. And they kind of like, yep, Shar is Shar's age group preference is definitely questionable. Yeah. Shar is a questionable adult. He wasn't that questionable at the beginning, though. He was a pretty. He was, at least in the original Gundam series. His goal was pretty clear. He's trying to avenge his family, well, mostly his father. But yeah, exactly. Like, Char's track record is not good for his love interest, especially like later down the line. Like Lala is pretty normal. Oh, Lala is underage. Let's not kid ourselves here. Um, Haman, at least when they first met, is underaged. Quest underaged. Most of the casting Zeta are, I think, are off age, so that's okay. But yeah, like Shard does definitely have a seems to have an age preference when it comes to female mobile suit pilots. Like when you look at his stats in G Generation, his charisma is really high. I mean that is also because he's a leader of a a really large organization that is required. And when you look at the stat as well, you can see that full frontal is just not as good as him in basically every single way. But at least, as far as we know, the lore currently, full frontal has a reasonable How do I say this? Sexual preferences. Not sexual preferences. What do you call this? Each preferences when it comes to new type pilots. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna phrase that. Full frontal and that guy. Which guy? The guy, the purple hair guy who piloted the purple suits. Yeah, I don't. The Rosen Zulu, I think it was called. I don't remember his name either. All right, now we can assemble the entire leg all in one go. Oh, both legs, really. Oh my god. What is this? This is the front, this is the back. Hey, it's great talking to you too. Thanks for coming and stay safe. Hey, thanks for subbing. I will, yeah, do check me out every single weekend. I think I will change my schedule to be later in the evening compared to like mid-afternoon. Just seems to have a better viewership. Yep, I knew that this was going to be a problem. Yep, new sub woot. This thing just clips in. That's terrifying. Alrighty. So this is the leg, and we can see that this is very leg-like, and at the top we have a sliding armor. Let's keep that straight. So that's how that compares to the unsliding armor one. So the armor slides forwards and backwards. This is kind of different from their regular design, because their regular design usually is parallel slides instead of a slightly angled one. Right, next we have the leg itself. So you have with the calf not open, you can kind of bend it all the way here. And this particular armor, it's not connected to anything at the bottom, so you'll have to move it manually to look like this. All right, and you can also pop the calf open. So that's these two pieces right here. You'll just need to move it to the side. It will kind of drag itself out, and then you can bend things down quite a bit. So you can get a very nice 180-degree bend compared to like completely straight. Another gimmick that we have aside from the calf, naturally the calf looks awful if you just have it open like that. You just have a cavity. But I guess it can look cool. You can be like, oh, extra armor that's open. Another thing that we have articulation is this little bit here. You can see that it kind of this panel opens up a tiny bit, and if we do open this panel can open a lot more. And I think so far the best sliding gimmick that's done on a master grade, it's my favorite one is still the Shinanju. Yeah, so there's really no way to see if your kneecap returned to the correct position, which is slightly annoying. But anyways, let's pop the leg on. Oh boy. And pop the other leg on, because we got two. So we're popping the feet onto the leg. And now we get to make the thigh, which is extraordinarily simple. 4 parts. One, 21, 22, 6. Okay. Easy peasy. Extraordinarily tight joint. That's have me very surprised, I have to say. So crew, not make sure you watch out for this when you build yours. You can see that because it's so tight that there is stress marks on it. Okay, let me turn off the light so it's seeing a little bit better. So you can see that there is stress marks right here. And then on the other side, there's stress mark right above. It's the slight whiting of the plastic. And that was the cat. The cat is here, guys. Celebrate and rejoice. Oops. That was my head hitting the camera. Cat. Okay, the cat doesn't want to look at me. It's playing hard to get. That was the sound of me slapping the cat's butt. Does it enjoy it? I don't know. Doesn't hate it. Okay, it went away. vroom. Vroom, vroom, vroom. At the same time, I'm really glad that this joint is really tight. At the same time, this joint is really tight. All right, the legs are completely symmetrical. That's not too surprising. Yeah. All right. Now we can take the wing out of the butt plug and then give it some legs. We're gonna do things more easily. So we're gonna move the action base instead and just do that and put the legs on like this. All right. All right. So our little wing zero have legs now. Like so. It's, very wing zero looking, and well, because it is a wing zero. So let's make things a little bit darker so we can turn on the light. So this is the wing zero. The legs is pretty plain. There are two shades of white, but then it's not very, very clear, especially under this type of lighting. For example, this piece and this piece is a slightly different color. The top one is a warmer white, the bottom one's a cooler white. Same for the front and rear of the thigh. But the difference is extraordinarily faint, so it's natural that you can't see it. Yep. You can have it standing now all by itself. Hey. Hey. All right, so let's quickly finish the side skirt, because we already have the rest of the waist done. Side skirt is really simple. It's just 3 parts. We have a 15 and not this runner. Another A15 for the opposite side. We have the last piece from the eye runners. Yep, eye runner is clear. And we need L2. L2 is blue, I think. L2 is this light blue. L2 13. L2 runner clear. A very small one to begin with, so not that satisfying. Sorry, I had butted the camera because I'm trying to see what the cat wants. All right, so we have the Wing Zero EW completely built, at least the body without the weapon and the wings or the backpack for that matter. Here we have the butt plug attached. That's this thing. So it looks a little bit off and, PG-13. Actually, no, this will be 18A. And yeah, it looks like this. So we added the legs today compared to the rest of the upper body. The detail isn't as present because in general, the chest area has a lot of details, right? You have these little fins, and then you have the gaps. You have just a lot more details and carving. Same goes for the shoulder armor here. In contrast, the legs are fairly plain. You have these two panel line, a few panel lines, but they did make a great effort to make sure that the gray pieces stick out, kind of all over. On the side of the leg, however, there's a lot more detail because here we have the separating armor of the calf piece right here, and we can expand everything so that it looks like this. So kind of looks maybe a little bit cooler. Kind of like a high-powered mode or something. I don't know. Just kind of have imagination is what's most important when doing things like this. All right. So that is it for today's stream. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be back not tomorrow but next week. And yeah, so I think next week will start around the same time as well. After dinner, after dessert, after everybody is just holding their drink, and then we can do a build. All right, thank you all for watching. Have a good night.